If you're not up for this challenge today, I totally understand. Click out of this video and I'll see you next week. But for those of you who are still around, the few, the proud, the brave, those of you who have well over 1,000 emails in your inbox and you're still here ready to challenge yourself to get this part of your life organized. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi, my name is Dr. Jamie. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist known as the Productivity Psychologist here on YouTube. And you've just joined us in the middle of a 90-day total life reset. I developed this 90-day reset program for myself because my 2024 was out of control. And I am dead set on entering 2025 with a calm, organized home life, work life, and personal life. I'm not gonna lie, this task is going to be exceedingly difficult for some of you. So rather than giving you some hyper-technical step-by-step instructions on how to sort through your email, I am gonna give you some tips and tricks to get you started on sorting through your email. And I want to highlight 2 important psychological principles that are gonna help you get through this massive task. Originally, I set aside 1 day to clean out my email. If you've been following along on this 90-day journey, you know that I save these large tasks for the weekends, and I have these micro tasks that I can do after work. But I quickly learned that it was going to take some time for me to go through over 60,000 emails. And these are only emails that I've collected over the last year or 2. And that's when I had to battle off the first psychological principle: learned helplessness. Learned helplessness was first identified and studied with animal models, and one of our old friends, Martin Seligman, also known as the father of positive psychology, coined the term in the late 1960s. Learned helplessness is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person is repeatedly exposed to uncontrollable negative events. Over time, they start to believe that they have no power to escape or change the situation, so they stop trying. It's easy to see how this could be related to people's feelings about managing their email inbox. It seems like no matter what we do, we keep getting this influx of emails. Or sometimes it may seem like we have a handle on it for a short period of time, and then we leave it alone for a week or 2 and it's all full up again. Well, that feeling of resignation, like there's nothing that you can do to keep your inbox at bay, is part of this passive reaction to feeling like things are beyond your control. If you think like nothing that you do is going to change the situation or make it better, you just stop trying anything at all. But here's where other psychological principles come into play. You might be overgeneralizing the situation, assuming that your future behavior is going to be the same as your past behavior. You might be falling prey to negative cognition bias, where you're remembering all of the times that you weren't able to control your inbox, rather than focusing on the periods of time when you were able to effectively manage your email. And last, and maybe most importantly, if you've resigned yourself to not have any kind of email organization system, you're depriving yourself of the opportunity to succeed at that task. And this is a concept called self-efficacy that we've been talking about throughout this 90-day challenge. You see, in order for your brain to think that you can do something, it needs to gather up evidence that you're capable of doing that thing. So the more successful you get at managing your email inbox, the more self-efficacy you'll develop, and the more you'll believe that you'll be able to effectively manage this difficult part of life. I believe that I can manage my email inbox, and we're about to tackle it right now. All right, in the spirit of full disclosure, I thought that this was going to take a day, but it actually took 3 days. I dedicated several hours to clearing out my inbox on one weekend day, so about 4 or 5 hours, and then 2 days after work. That was for my main email inbox, which actually collates emails from several different email addresses that I have, including my business, things related to my child, a little bit from my 9-to-5 job. So it was a really big task. I'm going to be showing you my step-by-step process utilizing a separate email inbox so that I can show you the techniques that I used as I was going through my larger inbox. All right, let's start with the person that wants to start totally from scratch. There is a way that you can do this using Gmail. So if you're on Gmail and you've decided, I totally want a fresh start, there's 2 ways of doing that. When you click on this button in the top left-hand corner, that's going to select all of your emails. And it actually has just selected the 50 conversations on this page. You might have your Gmail set up to show you 100 emails on that page. If you're looking to completely wipe out your inbox, you're gonna wanna go here to this blue section where it says select all 1,631 emails in primary. Now that's important to note. Gmail does have different inboxes, and if you only have one inbox, you want to go over to settings, see all settings, and inbox. And if you click these, it will automatically sort your email into different inboxes based on its algorithm. And it actually does a pretty good job. So I recommend that you turn all of these on. It's going to help you sort through your emails if you're going to do anything other than fully delete everything. So I'm gonna turn those on and then go back into my inbox. They have not been saved, so let me go to the bottom and save. Okay, so now I have primary, promotion, social, updates, and forums. If you want to delete everything, you'll click on this box. You'll see that 23 conversations are on this page, or 227. So just doing that has already helped us to sort some of these things out. And I do use this delete all button pretty regularly in this promotions tab. So if you go into the promotions tab, that's going to be mostly ads from different companies that send you emails or coupon codes or things like that. This is primarily where I use that delete all pretty aggressively. So under promotions, I will click this button, and it has 53 conversations on this page, but I actually want to select all 177 conversations that are left. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to hit delete. This is asking me to confirm that bulk action, so I'm going to hit yes. And now my promotions tab is empty. So you would go through each email inbox and select all of them and delete them. If you are going to delete all of your emails, you don't even have to classify them into different mailboxes. You can just hit that square, select all of them, and hit delete. But that is really brave. Many of us are going to want to sort through our emails, at least to some degree. If you're not ready to completely delete all of your emails, but you still want to have that total blank slate, there's another option. I'm going to show you that in my primary tab here. You can click select all, and rather than hitting the delete button, you can hit the archive button, and that is also going to remove all of your emails from this mailbox. So I am going to hit this button for select. I'm going to select all 225 conversations in this mailbox. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to hit this archive button. This is a bulk action, and all of those will go into my archive. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to let it do its thing. Now, I did find that when I was doing these large bulk actions, sometimes it takes Gmail a second to catch up with itself. So it just told me that it put about 100 of those emails into the archive, but it hasn't fully cleared it out. So I found that I had to do it once or twice, or you could be patient and just wait a minute and it will clear out. But for the purposes of this video, let's go ahead and click it, select 125 of them, and hit archive. Let's see if this will get us to a clean email box. It looks like it's working. And our primary tab is empty. That took about 2 minutes, a little bit of refreshing and a little bit of aggressive re-clicking, and we're good. So we have a totally blank slate for primary and for promotions. I'm going to show you the next trick here in the social tab. Another way that you can systematically review emails to delete is by using some sort of filter. I see that I have quite a bit of emails from Reddit. So I'm going to put in from Reddit, and that's going to give me all of the messages that I've received from Reddit. Now that I've sorted those emails, I can click on select all the conversations that match that search, and then I can either hit the archive button if I want to archive them, or the delete button if I want them to be gone forever. Before we go on, you might be wondering what happens when I hit the archive button, because it's no longer in my inbox, but it's not deleted for good. Let's give this a try. First, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of those Reddit conversations. It's going to take it just a little while to do that. And as Gmail is working through that, here on the left-hand side, you're going to see some of my labels as well as some different categories: inbox, starred, snoozed, important. If you go down here to more, the down caret, and you click down, you'll see a mailbox that says all mail. When you click that, all of the emails that we've archived are in this all mail category. So they're not completely deleted and gone forever. They are in this all mail folder, but your inbox looks nice and neat. All right, coming back to our social tab, now I see that everything from Reddit has been deleted. I also see that I have a lot of emails from Instagram, but it's not immediately obvious where they're coming from. So I don't know how I would search to queue up all of the emails that I have from Instagram. So I'm going to click on this, The Rock from Instagram, and I see that it's come from this email address called noreply@mail.instagram.com. So there's this nifty unsubscribe button here that I'm going to utilize. But before I do that, I'm going to grab that email address. Then I'm going to hit unsubscribe. I wish that Gmail had a way to mass unsubscribe from a bunch of emails, but it really is requiring you to go in and individually unsubscribe from some of these feeds. So for today, we're just going to grab this email. We're going to go ahead and hit unsubscribe. It's going to say that I need to go to the website. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, unsubscribed from this mailing list. Success. Okay, I'm going to go back. That's a small win, and I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to go back in here and do from that email. And now you'll see that it pulls up everything from Instagram. Even though the sender line over here looks really different, it all came from that one no reply box on Instagram. So I feel really comfortable clicking all of those, selecting everything that matches, and then hitting that delete button. Yes, I am sure. Let's give it a second, and that has cleared out my entire social feed. All right, we have one inbox left, and that is the updates inbox. And this was the hardest inbox for me to clear out in my larger personal email system, because I needed to be a little bit more choosy on what I wanted to delete, what I wanted to keep for reference, and I also couldn't just mass delete things from a specific sender because there were a variety of different senders, and the same sender sent me some things that I wanted to keep while also sending me things that I wanted to delete or archive. So this required a little bit more finesse. I couldn't just mass delete it. I didn't want to mass archive it because I did want to read some of these emails. So I used a combination of strategies, starting with a behavioral science principle called representative sampling. In behavioral science, when we're interested in getting a representative snapshot of a specific behavior, in this case, we want to get a general snapshot of our email. We don't need to look at every piece of email to get a general understanding of what's in our email inbox. These initial 50 emails that are on this first page are probably a decent representation of the emails that I'm going to find in the other 10 pages, which is why I'm going to use these 50 emails to help me get through the other 586 emails in this inbox. All right, starting from the top, I see that I have this email from Daily Productivity. So I'm going to go from Daily. I know that I don't want any emails from Daily Productivity, so I'm going to go ahead and click that square to select all of the emails from Daily Productivity, select all the conversations that meet the search criteria, and then hit delete. This bulk action is going to handle many of these emails, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and see what happens. It might take a few minutes, but let's move on to the next email here. It's from Ali Abdal, so I'll do from. Okay, so here there are more than 50 emails from Team Ali Abdal. So I'm going to click select all conversations that match, and I'm going to delete this this action will affect all of the conversations. Yes, I am sure. All right, we have cleared out our inbox of those emails. So now we come back to update and you'll see that the number is starting to go down slowly but surely. The next group is from Think Media. And there are quite a bit, and I know that I want to delete all of these as well. So I'm going to select all that match, click delete, and click OK. That might take up to a few minutes. If you want to be impatient like me, you might want to do it over and over, or you can just be a little patient because Gmail will indeed delete all of those messages. Okay, back to our updates. That number is going down, so we're down to 414 emails. Now, what if there's some emails from a particular person or a particular website that you want to keep for reference? Let's use this Etsy Conversations as that example. So if it's from Etsy Conversations. Okay, we have several emails from Etsy Conversations. I'm going to select all of them, and I want to label all of them. I want to label them as, here on the left-hand side, you have the ability to add a label. Labels are like file folders, and you can use them to classify and sort your emails. So I'm going to make a new label. I'm going to say Etsy Convo. I'm going to create that. You'll see that that has been moved onto this list right here as Etsy Convo. So I'm going to select all of these Etsy Conversations, hit these three buttons, label as Etsy Conversations. I'm also going to unclick updates. So I'm going to hit apply. That is going to label all of these emails as belonging in that folder. But you're not quite done. You still need to remove them from this inbox. So you're going to hit that archive button, and now all of them have been removed from your inbox and are now archived within this labels folder. You'll see that when we go back to inbox and we go to updates, we're not going to have any Etsy Conversations. We still have this one, Etsy Support. That's different than Etsy Conversations. So just like you can mass delete something, you can mass label something and then archive it within that folder. When I hit Etsy Conversations here, I have all of the conversations that I labeled easily accessible to me. Now, I hate these numbers coming up on the side here. See how it tells me that I have 7 unread emails within this label or this folder? I really hate that. So if you want to get rid of that number as well, you can click the select box to select all of them, and then you hit this icon right here marked as red, and then my OCPD can rest. Now, if you're a person that knows the difference between OCD and OCPD, leave me a thumbs up in the comment section down below. And if you don't know the difference, look out for an upcoming video in the new year where I explain those differences. And while you're down there, consider hitting that subscribe button. Now let's tackle a more complicated case. Let's use Google, for instance. So I want everything from Google to be sorted. I need some emails from Google because I do run this YouTube channel that's run by Google. I have my AdSense information that comes to me from Google. So I do need some of their emails, but not all of them. And here's where that second psychological principle that I promised you comes into play. I'm gonna start off by setting a default mode. That default mode is going to be to delete everything. I'm going to hit select, and now that sets up an artificial default mode. Default modes have been studied in the realm of decision architecture, which is a sub-area of social psychology. Decision architecture is the science behind influencing individuals' choices and decision-making. And default options have been shown to greatly increase the amount of people that go with that default option. Scientists think that as humans, we tend to go with the path of least resistance. And if you increase barriers or increase the friction in choosing an alternative behavior, it decreases the likelihood that you'll go with that behavior. In this case, the easy option will be to hit the delete button. We are artificially creating a default setting by activating the select all and knowing that all we have to do is push that delete button and all of these emails will be gone. That's the path of least resistance, and I'm drawn to it just by saying it out loud. Now, in order to save an email, we need to identify it from the larger group of emails, unclick this one button, decide what we're going to label it as, and then label it and archive it in its respective folder. That takes more work, so we're trying to nudge ourselves toward deleting it, nudge ourselves toward archiving it, or toward whatever the default setting is that you choose to set for yourself. I'm trying to get rid of as many things as possible, so my default is going to be everything activated for deletion. Now I'm going to go through and identify if there's anything here that I want to save. So I've saved about 30 emails, and now I'm going to select them all, mark them all as red so that I don't have to have that annoying number coming up on the side, and I'm going to further stratify these into groups so that I can go ahead and sort them and put them away in their folders. So everything from Google and has the word AdSense in it, I want just those emails. I'm going to select all of those emails, I'm going to label them as reference, and I'm going to archive them into the reference box. So when I hit inbox here, there should be nothing from Google and AdSense. All right, now all of those are gone. So you can use these two strategies to work through the remaining 384 emails. I find that I do a combination, switching back and forth between identifying an individual sender. For example, next up is Millie Adrian from It's Modern Millie. If I want to keep everything from her or delete everything from her, I'm going to queue it up in the search bar from Millie Adrian. I'm going to do the same thing if I want to sort through the emails from an individual person. And using a combination of those three strategies, you can end up with a perfectly pristine inbox zero. There are plenty of more advanced techniques on how you could quickly go through your Gmail inbox. I'm going to leave some of my favorite videos linked down below, but I'll leave you with a little parting tip. Under the settings section, see all settings, you can go into this tab, which is filtered and blocked email addresses, and you could create new filters and new rules. Having a beautifully empty inbox is just the first step toward an organized email system. The next thing you're going to want to think about is a system for keeping this nice and tidy. For my personal email system, a simple way to sort incoming email is to have a simple 3-folder setup. One where you move emails that require some action, one where you put emails that are awaiting a response, and one where you put emails that you might need for reference. Now, I personally don't use my email as a task management system, although that has worked for me in different jobs that I've had. It's not currently working in this season of life, at home or at work. I prefer a more robust task management system, but this simple system might be a good starting point. Your email is also not going to clean itself, so it's going to be important to integrate email sorting into one of your regularly occurring systems. This cadence of review and reflection is part of what we're going to be developing here over the next 90 days. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you want to check out other videos in this series, check out the last video here or the entire series down here.